Hello YouTube! It's time for another Twitter thread video. You guys liked the last one, at least a little bit, so I decided to make another one. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's just go. Okay, so for this one, I decided to go a little bit more in depth with actual cards. Instead of just talking about our favorite cards, I wanted to talk about our least favorite card interactions. So when two cards have, effect text that messes with the other one in a certain way, sometimes it can really feel like bullshit. Most of the time, I like card interaction. Card interaction is like what makes a card game, and it's what makes it interesting. You can have all sorts of weird, funny builds, like the fact that Terror Top allows you to do all sorts of rank 3 plays, despite the fact that it's built for a synchro deck. But some of it just doesn't feel right. It just feels wrong, and it doesn't feel good either. Like, it feels wrong in a bad way. And the example that I decided to bring for this one was the fact that monsters that tribute themselves on the field for the cost of their effect aren't negated by skill drain because the card is no longer on the field. They no longer face up on the field. So the good example of this is Lilith, Lady of Lament. Quick effect, you can tribute one dark monster, reveal 3 normal traps from your deck, your opponent randomly chooses one for you to set on your field, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. That effect allows you to tribute itself. So if you have skill drain up on the field, all effects of face up monsters on the field are negated. So the monster is no longer face up on the field because it is now in the graveyard because it was tributed for the effect. So it now no longer is negated by skill drain. But and you can't negate that with skill drain. Like, you would think, okay, so skill drain negates effects of face up monsters on the field. It means they can't activate the effect because it would be an illegal activation. No, it's not an illegal activation. It's just negated. It doesn't say that you can't activate the effects. It just says the effects are negated, which means that you still pay for cost. And the cost is to tribute a dark monster, and once you do that, it's no longer on the field. So it still works under skill drain. Very stupid. I hate it. It doesn't feel good. Never feels good. Just not a fan. Not a fan of it. But enough about me. Let's see what all of you got up to. Alright, first up we have Price Potato. Master Duel is so fun. So this isn't as much a card interaction as it is just 2 floodgates you can very easily make. And a fusion monster you can make without a fusion spell. So Thunder Dragon Colossus prevents you from adding cards to, or prevents your opponent from adding cards from the main deck to their hand except by drawing them. So no search cards allowed. And then Imperial Order negates all spell card effects on the field. The fact that both of these are legal in Master Duel is a crime, and somebody should be punished for it. Haru here saying literally anything that involves timing ever. Haru hates the timing rule. What I mean by that is when things miss the timing. So like if you have Dupe Frog says when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can, or is it you may? But either way, that specific line of text, when you can, means that it misses the timing quite frequently because when is a specific timing of card effect. So if something happens to interrupt that, it misses timing. It's very annoying for new players for sure. Honestly, I wouldn't, if I was making a card game, I wouldn't include a ruling like that. It seems very silly. Void Made D here. Any card that gets their attack and defense points from an on-summon effect getting negated, just being stuck at 0 afterwards. And I'm also going to include on this cards being flipped face down and then coming back up, and then they forget all of that. I hate that. It's intended, but oh, I hate it. It's so annoying. Like, just it just makes the negation so much more impactful than it would have been otherwise. Really silly. I don't know why cards have bad memory. Cards just have amnesia. So VTuber Ubel is mentioning a really good one here. Cyber Angel Izana has a really silly ruling involving how it sends cards. If this card is ritual summon, you can make your opponent send one spell trap card they control to the graveyard. So making your opponent send the spell trap card means that it's not sent by your card effect. And Waking the Dragon says, if this set card in the owner's control has left the field because of an opponent's effect, it is now in the, and you can special summon the monster from your extra deck. Which means that Izana doesn't activate Waking the Dragon. Izana can make your opponent send Waking the Dragon, and thus your card effect has not activated Waking the Dragon. It's a ruling. It is a ruling. Yeah, here's the specific ruling. Spell trap card sent to the graveyard when resolving the effect of Cyber Angel Izana is not considered to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect. So yeah, it's being sent by the graveyard by your opponent. The card effect has already resolved, I guess. I don't even begin to understand why that's the ruling, but it is. It's so very clear that Ben 10 was supposed to be used when tributed for a ritual spell, but nope, Drytron. So yeah, Drytron, well, most of the Drytrons say stuff like this, but we'll just use Delta here because it's the example given by Gwyn. Drytron Delta Alteus says you could tribute one other Drytron monster or one ritual monster from your hand or field, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard in its defense position. And Cyber Angel Ben 10 says, if this card is tributed, you can add one light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Now it says tributed, period. It does not say tributed for a ritual summon or anything like that. Obviously, the deck is a ritual deck. It's made to support rituals, but it's not specific, so any tribute does it. So any card that says the word tribute on it will work. And that's why Drytron loves Ben 10, and why it probably shouldn't have been brought back to 2. Oh, here's a mention from Koopa Queen that Gladiator Beasts are kind of funny under Skill Drain. Their effect to swap out will activate because the card will no longer be on field as per the cost of the effect. But then the new card will come out, and every Gladiator Beast has an effect on summon by a Gladiator Beast effect, and that effect will be by a monster on field, so that effect will not activate. So you do get to swap them out, but you don't get the effect upon swapping them out. Okay, so Arc has one that's been a big problem on Master Duel specifically. The Banquet of Millions DD Dynamite Burn deck. So for those who you don't know, Banquet of Millions allows you to banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down, and then banish the same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end phase. You only activate one Banquet of Millions per turn. So, you can do that, banish all the cards in your extra deck, banish all your opponent's cards, and then activate DD Dynamite. Inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent's life point for each of your opponent's cards that have been removed from play. So now you have 15 cards removed from play for them. And you inflict 300 for each of them. Do you need all 3 to do the OTK? I don't remember. I never did the math on it. But yeah, that's basically you just use this and burn them. It's very annoying. But the most annoying part about it is the fact that it was really easy to teach a bot how to play this. So like that was like the real problem with it, is not that it was, you know, easily done or that it was like the most powerful deck. It really wasn't. There's lots of ways to stop this. But it was the easiest to train a bot to do. So it was just, Master Duel Ladder was just full of robots playing this stupid deck. Very annoying. Rest in Piss won't be missed. But they're all playing like the Ignite FTK now anyways, so who cares? They're still playing an FTK. Okay, so here's one by the Betrayed Cow. My least favorite card interactions is when a card works on special summons, but only innate ones, not effect special summons or ones that make chains. So yeah, this card says, when your opponent would normal summon or special summon a monster, discard one Watt monster, negate the summon, and destroy it. We also have Drytron Meteor Shower. When your opponent normals or special summons a monster and you control a ritual monster, negate the summon. So that reads like it should be able to negate any normal or special summon. However, it does not. Any card that special summons by an effect will not be negated by this because the special summon happens as a result of the chain. And this can't respond to the chain. It can only respond to the summon. Why? Why? Like, it's so annoying. I hate little fiddly shit like this. When a card says, when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can negate the summon, you should be able to do that anytime an opponent normal or special summons a monster. Like that feels like it should be common sense, but no, because the chain interrupts it. So it doesn't interrupt it. What happens is, like I said, because the card summons it. So like, for instance, if we were talking about a ritual card, so the ritual spell is activated. Well, a monster hasn't been special summoned yet, so you can't respond. But then we resolve the chain, and the chain gets resolved, and the monster gets special summoned. Well, now you want to respond, right? You want to respond with your Drytron Meteor Shower. Well, the card's already been summoned. The chain is resolved. You can't respond to it. So like you're just shit out of luck. Very frustrating, extremely frustrating. I don't understand. And like, if that's the case, why even print them like this? Why print them to be this confusing? If it's going to be that way, why even make these cards? I don't know. I don't know why you would. It seems silly to me, but I'm not Konami, so I don't know. So I think that's just about everything. A little bit of a shorter one than we had last time. But I think it was an interesting one for sure. This one was a little bit harder for people to get into because it takes a lot of knowledge of card interactions in order to come up with your least favorite one. You have to know how the cards interact to have a least favorite card interaction. So maybe we'll keep it a little lighter in the future if we do more of these. If you want to see more of these, make sure to leave comments telling me that you do, and all that stuff. But we're gonna go to the chatting scene and we'll wrap up. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time watching this little video. I had a good time making it. I had a good time looking at all your replies. Hopefully, you'll join me for the next one. And if not, hopefully you'll join me for all my streams and stuff. Speaking of streams, catch me on twitch.tv/ThempireIan. Catch me on Twitter and Facebook and all the other places you can catch me. Leave a like, share, and subscribe, and maybe some comments if you want to see more of these kind of things. Make sure you drink your Ovaltine. Or don't. I don't care. I'm not a corporate sponsor. You can't make me sponsor. Don't drink your Ovaltine. How about that, Ovaltine? This has gotten away from me for a bit. I'll see you all next time. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you right now. Bye-bye. Bye.